When it comes to making layered cards, one of my favorite things to do is to stamp little tiny images such as these, cut them out with my ScanNCut, and then decorate and layer. Hey guys, May Flom here, and I am going to show you how I make this card, but possibly more importantly, how my ScanNCut is really saving me a lot of time. So to get started, I'm just going to put this on my mat and load it on in. We're going to go right in to Scan Direct Cut. And I have it in color mode, even though it's black and white. I can go to grayscale mode and scan. Then I will accept the image, and I can see that it is recognizing parts but not all of my images, and that is okay. So what we're gonna do is we go in here and tell it where the area is. So drag the little corners in so that it knows where it is that I am looking. And then what I can do is adjust the grayscale. I can adjust and see if that helps. If for some reason it's not helping, I can troubleshoot. Looking at my images, they have a solid black outline, so really this should all be picking up really easily. And going one way and then the other, if this doesn't pick up, what I will do is rescan in the color mode. So if you're ever having problems with one mode and it's not recognizing what you've got, a lot of times just switching to the other mode on your ScanNCut 2 will be the fix that you need. It's usually really, really simple. Okay, so it's done recognizing and looking. And it's not happening here, guys. So I'm gonna go back home and rescan, this time in color mode. And I'm going to repeat, just bringing this in to resize here and make sure that I want to make sure that I get close, but I'm not so close that the edges are outside, because if the edges of my stamped images are outside of that box, it won't recognize them, and that'll give me problems. Okay, and as you can see when I scan in color mode, look at the difference. Everything picked up exactly. Everything, and I can zoom in here if I want to be sure. I can zoom in and take a look. But look at this, guys. Everything picked up exactly. So that's why I always say try the other mode if for some reason it's not doing what you hoped for. So since everything is perfect, we don't need to mess with the color. We don't need to do anything. We're just going to say okay. And then I would like a small outline distance on these. And I'll just tell it okay and cut. Now all we've got to do is decorate our card. So I've got some more watercolor cardstock here, and what I'm going to do is just take some ink, and this is all from the same stamp set here, and I'm going to stamp my little wreath onto here like so. And then I'm just going to start coloring all of my bits and pieces. So I'll set that to the side. I'm going to layer everything up onto this card. So for right now, though, I do want to give it some color. So I'm just going to pull out, you could use any watercolors that you've got. I happen to have some fluid color mediums here that are in water brushes, which works really well for super quick and easy coloring. I'm not trying to be perfect on my colors here because I am going to spray them with water and also with some mica spray to add some sparkle. So I'm just right now just getting a little bits of color on each one. And as you can see, first I'm going through the leaves, and then I'll go back through with the flowers and just repeat this process. And for the flowers, you know, I have that coral kind of a color, so I think I'll do some of the flowers red and some of the flowers pink. I want it to be very, very bright and colorful, lots of fun. And again, remember, we're not trying to be super picky about our color yet. We're not trying to be super picky about our color yet because we're going to be playing and blending, and I'm just going to get a different color here. These are a lot of fun because it makes it easy. If you have any watercolor pens or really anything, guys, whether you have watercolor pens, whether you have regular pens, whatever you've got should work just fine. I'll pull in some orange. Actually, I decided some orange would be the better mix. And then once I am satisfied with the loose watercolor, I'm just going to take some water. I'm going to group everybody up here. Oh, and I missed a spot over here. Didn't do enough on this one. And this is what makes it really fun, because the way these images are, it's super easy to just mix and match, and then I'll spray everybody with just a bit of water. And what that's going to do, since they're on watercolor paper, it's going to blend and bleed those colors just a little bit. And then once those are dry, I'll just take kind of a sparkly spray here. And I am going to go ahead and spray. You can see this particular work surface. It's very, very used to being sprayed with all kinds of things. So the spray, you're really not going to see it on film, but it's going to add a little bit of sparkle and shine. Over here on this, I'm going to give it just a little bit of water, because that'll help just kind of blend a few things. And then what I will do is I'll take the orange here, and I'm just going to add a little bit into this stamp. You could do this again if you had a paintbrush and some watercolor. If you had a marker that you wanted to use, you could use anything you like. I'm just adding a little bit, and then I'll add a little more water to add a little more blending and bleeding. Let everything dry and we can assemble. I mounted this to just some peach cardstock. So I wanted just kind of a light color there. And now what I'm doing, I've got Happy Birthday to You stamped on the banner here, from the same stamp set. And I'm going to place it on 2 pieces of foam adhesive there. Actually, I'll add a third in the center, just because if we don't add the third in the center, it will work, but it's just going to be a little bit off. And I love how I didn't have to cut any of this out, just super easy. And I didn't have to line up any dies, nothing. All I had to do was just stamp it and cut it. Love that. And then I'm going to take these guys and I'll just play around with them a little bit, basically have these peek out. Okay, and that'll just give our card some nice structure here and layers. And those little tiny ones I'm going to put on the very top, so I'll hold off on those. But these I can just continue around like so. And I think this one I will put up top. This is just so much fun, and you can see how quickly and easily I can come up with a watercolor card that's one of a kind. It's still special, you know, it's not like I've mass produced it or anything. It's still one of a kind, but at the same time, it's really simple. So the next thing I'm going to do is just take little tiny bits of foam adhesive, because I don't want a ton here. Little tiny bits of foam adhesive to fit on these little tiny bits here. Put those on there, and then these ones I'm going to mount on top. I'll put this one right here. So that's going to give us, so we've got 3 different layers. And then again, just use scissors to cut a little bit of foam adhesive, since these are so small, and put it on the back of this other one. And this one I'm going to put this one over here and layer it up like so. Now, if you want anything else, you know, it's really up to you. I'm going to add a little bit of shimmer spray here that's got kind of a pinky peachy tones. Just a few little flicks here and there, like I do. You could add more, you could leave it simple. Me, I'm good with this. The only final touch I'm going to do, and this is just me, my preference, I'm going to edge with some black permanent ink, just the very outside. I'm not going to do the white card, just the peach color, and that's just going to add a little hint of contrast. I hope you've enjoyed this quick and simple card. I'll see you next time.